Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brittany, also known as Brit or Nerdy Girl Crochets. I primarily make safety eyes as my small business, and I also love to obviously crochet plushies. I'm super excited about this video because I've always wanted to kind of like dive more deep into what inspires my safety eye drops. Safety eye drops is definitely a newer thing. Before, I was just kind of making them word of mouth, like custom, so people would reach out, message me about wanting safety eyes, and then we'd kind of like collaborate. They'd tell me what they want, and that's how I would go about orders, but that was getting a little bit overwhelming. So 2025 is when I launched my website and then started doing the eye drops, just because that works better for like my lifestyle. I like having them pre-made, and then when I drop them, all I have to do is like pack them up and send them out. So yeah, I really like the drop style, and basing them off of things that I absolutely love has been so much fun and just super inspiring for me. So this drop I'm particularly excited about. I already did my first drop, that was back in January, and the animes that I based it off of were Death Note, Attack on Titan, and Jujutsu Kaisen, which those are three of my favorite animes, so I was super passionate about that drop. That was just so much fun. Like, loved promoting it, loved all the styles I came out with, like so much fun. Just had an absolute blast coming up with all the designs, the names for the eyes, just everything. And then when I was coming up with the drop eyes for this one, I was so excited too. Two of the animes were easy for me to decide on, and the one I'm going to talk about today actually wasn't as easy to land on. I went back and forth. So the anime that inspired the eyes we're going to talk about today is actually Solo Leveling. So I absolutely love Solo Leveling, and season 2 just wrapped up and finished its airing, and oh my gosh, the show has me in a total chokehold. Absolutely love it. I have watched season 2 so many times, and literally I would watch the subtitle version while I waited for the dub version. Now don't get me wrong, I absolutely have nothing wrong with subtitle anime. In fact, I used to watch mostly subtitle anime before I got into crocheting, but I am not one of those people who can read and crochet at the same time. And like, crochet takes up a lot of my time, and like painting safety eyes and all that, so I kind of need it to be dubbed, to be completely honest. And I'm sorry, but I'm a firm believer that Solo Leveling is one of the animes that is better in English. Like, the English dub voice actor does such a good job, and you just don't get the impact of like how amazing the character is when you're reading it. That's just a personal thing. Like, one of his like main lines, which actually inspired one of the name of the eyes, you just don't get that when you're just reading it. Anyways, I don't want to go off on a full tangent, but yeah, I actually first was not even planning on doing Solo Leveling inspired eyes. Well, here, she can join the party. But yeah, I originally was not planning on doing Solo Leveling inspired eyes. Gosh, I don't even remember. I don't know. But, you know, then season 2 came out, and I was like, you know, that's right. I really do love Solo Leveling. Like, why hadn't I thought of that? So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do Solo Leveling. It just kind of like, oh yeah, I do love Solo Leveling. So then it was coming up with the names, and admittedly my sister helped come up with some of them. Once I got back into it and watched it more, I was like, oh duh, like naming them was easy. It had just been a little bit since I watched it and remembered like how much I love the show. And I even have some of the manhwa, and I'm actually taking time to read it now, which is really nice. I've wanted to read it for a long time, and I've just been so busy all the time. So anyway, this is the current one that I'm on. And it's cool too, because it's like all a lot of, if you read like manga or manhwa, a lot of them are not in color, and this one is, so super cool. Anyway, let's dive into a closer look at the eyes. I really love these. And when I'm designing my collections, I really like aim for like 2 to 3 styles for each anime. And yeah, with each drop I do, it's usually like 3 animes that I'm inspired by. Like, more power to people who do like a whole collection with like 8 to 12 styles for one show or whatever. That's incredible. But for me, I'm like, oh gosh, that's a lot. I do think with Solo Leveling, I could come out with more styles, to be fair. But I just like to mix it up. Anyways, let's talk about the actual eyes. So the first design that I set on, these ones, let me put them here so I can actually show you. So these ones are called Arise. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. They're so pretty. So, you know, purple, blue, color shift. Personally, I'm obsessed with color shift eyes in general. They're always kind of what I gravitate towards. And when you look or watch the show or anything, like if you look up art from the show, you'll see lots of like pops of purple and blue and all that. So I knew I wanted to come up with a set that had like purples and blues. And yeah, when you see like him and his aura, a lot of the times you'll see like purple and blue. So I knew I wanted to incorporate like a purple set of eyes. And these are Arise. And this is what I was talking about, why the show is, in my opinion, better in English, because when he says Arise, it's like the way he says it. The English voice actor does such a good job. He just sounds so strong and powerful when he says Arise. Oh, it just like hits you in your soul. It's so good. So yeah, that's Arise. Oh my gosh, I love them. And typically I try to make like one plushie for every eye design that I come up with, and honestly I just didn't get around to it for this drop. Life happens. But yeah, I really was hopeful to do it with these eyes, but it did not happen. Also, these color shift a lot more than the camera is showing. Like when they're in the light, you see little flecks of like gold and orange and pink, but the camera doesn't pick it up. Camera only shows primarily like purple and blue. But yeah, I love this set. Okay, so the next set that I settled on is called Reawakening. And in the show, it's like hunters, they have, they can awaken as a hunter, and then they get like a grade system of what level of hunter they are. But then there are cases where people can have a reawakening, where they can become like a stronger hunter. And so I thought it would be cool to come out with a set called Reawakening, and that's what these ones are. Once again, color shift, but the camera is not gonna pick it up the same way that like outside would or anything like that. So that's them on black pupil. And then on white pupil, admittedly the Rise set, I thought I had white pupils made already, but I don't. I actually sent them to May, Lush Lux Loops, so I was like, whoops. But I have white pupils for the others, so I'll show you guys. And I just love how the white pupils can kind of just give you a different look. You know, I personally don't really use white pupil, but I do always appreciate how like it can just make the eye look a little different, a little, I don't know, it's just cool. I like it, and I do like to offer them in the drop because there are people who do like to use the white pupil. So yeah, so that's Reawakening, and I am currently working on a commission, and I showed them the eyes that I have like that will be dropping, because they said they wanted to use some of my eyes. And so I showed them the styles that I came out with, and they requested the Reawakening eyes. And so all I have is the head so far, but you can see. So this is gonna be a Twilight Fury Dragon with the Reawakening eyes. And like, seriously, the camera doesn't do justice. When I put them up against the black, I was like, oh, I love them against black. And these are another one too, like the color shift is crazy. The camera really is only showing, I think it's like what, blue and pink, but when you see it in person, it's, you know, I see flecks of like teal, green, yellow. It's just like insane color shift. I absolutely love this set. They're so pretty. Okay, and then the last set is called Egress. So it's hard because I don't want to like give away too much about the show, but also it's like, it's been out for a little bit. So, you know, in the show, the main character ends up being able to summon shadows, and the first one he summons is called Egress. So anyway, Egress is like blue, and he's got like a red feather that comes off his head. I didn't want to do the red just because I'm like, that's like super particular. Me as a Spider-Man fan would appreciate it, but I'm like, you would have to have like a very specific make to do like the red and blue eyes. So I just stuck with like all blue to really like encompass Egress as a whole and like his aura and all of that. So these are the Egress eyes. And then I also have them on white pupil here. And these are another one, I'm like, gosh, the camera just doesn't do them justice. I really like how these ones turned out. They're like a subtle color shift, but it's color shift of like different hues of blue, which I think is super cool. And me personally, I use blue eyes like more than any other color. So yeah, I really love the Egress eyes. I've actually used the Egress eyes twice already on plushies. So let me see. So the first time I used the Egress eyes was actually when I was testing for Aaron, the crochet carpenter, and I used them on my little Spidey, Cinder. It's so cool because it's a finger puppet, but I made him like totally Spidey. You can't see. So I literally put like a vinyl spider on his chest and even like the Spider-Man eyes on the wings. But yeah, so I used the Egress eyes because I felt like the blue tied in really well with the blue of the suit. And then I totally forgot to bring the other piece I used that has the eyes on it. Let me go grab it. Okay, and then the other thing I used the Egress eyes on is when I tested for Pebble Crochets and her Charmander. So I just felt like they popped really well against the orange, and I just, yeah, I love it. But I'm a sucker for like a good set of blue eyes. Anything that's like color shift or blue, I gravitate towards a lot. So yeah, I was so excited coming up with these designs, and I really just wanted to nail them to really encompass the show and like all the artwork that I see around solo leveling. So man, it has been so hard to keep these under wraps. Like when you come out with a design, or at least me, when I'm coming out with my drop eyes and their designs, I just want to like promote them right away. But I learned so much from my first drop that I'm just like, no, reel it in. You need to wait until they're actually made, because promoting before they were made was probably my biggest mistake that I did the first time. I had never done a drop. I was just so excited, you know, I just wanted to show everybody what I came out with. But yeah, I literally was still painting eyes the day of the drop, and it was just so exhausting, like rewarding, but exhausting. So yeah, this time around, as hard as it was, I have waited to share the eyes until they're actually ready to go and painted. So that way when they actually drop on my website, all I have to do is pack them up and send them. Like, yeah, it's just gonna be so much better that way. So yeah, I'm super excited for this drop and to show you guys the other styles that are there. So yeah, stay tuned for my future videos. I will be showcasing the other eyes I have for the drop that are inspired by other animes. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like the video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.